Welcome back to Shyhammer Fantasy, and again, we are at round 2 of Adepticon 2015, and I got Bretonnians versus my Orcs and Goblins, 2,000 points, and it's my first time ever actually seeing a Bretonnian army that's not in a Warhammer book, so I was in for a treat. We're going to go over the army list really quick, and then we also had a special objective where we got a secret objective. We don't know what each opponent's objective was. Mine was actually to have more people with fortitude on my starting zone than he did on his. So, and then his was actually to have enough guys with fortitude on each of the terrain pieces. So let's go over his list right here. Okay, so first on the right side we have 10 Knights of the Realm. Right next to them we have the 5 Mountain Yemen. Of course they have bows, spears, and hand weapons. They're the fast cavalry. In front of them, that is a paladin, I believe. It is not his lord. Oh, actually it is his lord. It's a Bretonnian lord with a flail. And then over here we have this unit of 10 Knights of the Realm using the red banner. And then we have another unit of 10 Knights of the Realm, and we have the Green Knight, but he's not the Green Knight. That's actually his Lord model for today, his General. It's a Bretonnian Lord. He has special rules for, he has Knight's Vow, Blessing of the Lady, he has a shield, he has magic armor, Grommel, Great Helm, gives him a 6-up armor save, and it may be worn with additional normal armor, and he gets to reroll any failed armor saves, so that's pretty beastly. So basically he has a 1-up armor save with everything, with the horse and everything. Most of these guys have either a 2-up or a 1-up armor save, which is just ridiculous. Then over here we have 3 Pegasus Knights, and then also his Trebuchet. And then you can see in this picture right here, he has the Grail Knight, I think it is. But that's actually just a token that he brought. It's not actually not in play. And then over on the left is his level 4, and she is like the lady or something like that. I forgot what her name was. The Prophetess of the Lady, there it is. And she's actually only level 3. Huh. Who would have known? She does have a Dispel Scroll with her, and that was basically all the Bretonnians. Over on my side, I have all my guys sitting on top of a box, because I didn't know I had to have a display board. But anyways, in the top right over there we have Gorbad, Ironclaw. We have the 10 Wolf Boys, and I mean, if you watch my other video, you know exactly what I have. But I have 20 Night Goblins with short bows, as well as the 3 Fanatics hiding inside. I have one lone Wolf Rider on a wolf, obviously, with a great weapon. I have 18 Cave Squigs with handlers and 21 Savage Orcs Biggins. They also have the level 4 Savage Orc Shaman with them with the Lucky Shrunken Head, as well as there's another unit of 20 Black Orcs, 2 Doom Divers, Mangler, and that's about it. Let's get started into our battle and see how this goes. Alright, so this is how basically our setup looks. He has the Pegasus Knights hiding up in the corner, and then he has his 3 blocks of cavalry units right in the center, protecting that Trebuchet. And then the Trebuchet actually kind of intimidates me because I've never fought a Trebuchet before. And then he has his Yemen peasant guys over on the side. And on that same side, I have my Wolf Rider, and he takes his Vanguard move and just kind of like scares them and moves up. And then sure enough, here's my setup over here. I have everybody pretty much close enough range to Gorbad to have his leadership take effect. And then the Mangler's up in front. I'm actually going to try to keep everybody in that same spot, though, because my objective was to keep as many flags as I can in my starting zone. So let's go ahead and start turn 1. Turn 1, I actually do not move many people out of it. I get first turn. I just move the Mangler up a little bit, and then Magic Phase. I got a 6 and a 2. I use 6 dice on the Foot of Gork, and he dispelled it. It did not get double 6s. So I'm going to go ahead and do the remaining 2 dice on the Hand of Gork, and I get it, and I pull it off, and I throw my Night Goblins right up in front of his grill. They're not close enough to release the Fanatics yet, but I'm hoping he doesn't know that. Going into shooting phase, I throw both Doom Divers right in that middle unit. The middle unit has the BSB and the General hiding in it. So, and then top it off with these huge armor saves, the Fanatics are what I have to just counter that because they just go through no armor saves allowed. They're just going to go ahead and tear through some of these knights as assholes. So, first shot, I get a direct hit, and also the second shot I get a direct hit, and I go ahead and take out about 5 knights right on the first turn. It really puts the fear of God of those Doom Divers into him. He's like, holy crap, those 2 Doom Divers just took out so many points of Bretonnia knights. I don't even know how much they're worth, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty expensive per knight. Because like a boar boy with full upgrades is like 20 points or something like that. So I'm pretty sure these guys are pretty up there. That was... Oh, I'm going to take shots with my Night Goblins, and they pretty much do nothing. So we're going to go into Bretonnian's turn 1. So the Pegasus Knights are going to charge the side flank of the Night Goblins with the bows. And they get in, but guess what? They release the Fanatics. And now I'm going to send those Fanatics right into that front of that bus of Cavalry. One gets through. One goes through the unit of... he actually clips both units, the corner, and then pops out the other end. Only kills off one knight, though, and then the other one falls short. Which, it's all good. Now it kind of puts a block on him, though, because he kind of has to figure, does he want to charge through that and take 2d6 strength 5 armor-piercing hits. And then these guys over here, that's a dead pile on the right there, but you can see the peasants, they're going to go ahead and try to chase off my wolf boy here, and the wolf boy doesn't care, man. He's at 18 on a march, you know. Then these guys, they actually backed up a little bit, because if my Goblin Wolf Rider gets through, he's trying to protect his Trebuchet, which is very smart on his end. His magic phase, he gets 11 dice. Oh my god. And he tries to do the Comet of Cassador right in between my Doom Divers here. So, you know what? I'm just going to let it go through. I'm going to go ahead and put a Dispel Scroll on it the first turn. And with that Night Goblin right there, he had the Dispel Scroll. And so it leaves him to do his next move. So he tries to go ahead and do Ice Shard Blizzard onto my Night Goblins. And I stop it with the remaining dice that I have left. So that ends the magic phase. We're going to go into shooting next. He's going to use the Trebuchet, and the Trebuchet is aiming for my Doom Divers because now he realizes that's going to eat up his knights. And it drifts and does nothing on the first turn, which is good. Going to go to close combat. His Pegasus Knights go ahead and only one's clipping the back end there, so he kills off one, and then he gets a stomp and he kills off one more, and that was about it. I try to wound it with one Night Goblin. It did absolutely nothing, pathetically. And let's go into Orcs and Goblins turn 2. So first thing that's going to go on is the Squigs are going to go ahead and charge at the Pegasus Knights, and I don't even know why I moved my Mangler right up really that close, but I did. And Squigs get in and they get a front flank, and well, it's not really a flank, but the front charge. And my Night Goblins go ahead and they start swinging around, and one gets through. Not only does he get through, he pops through, kills off 2 of the knights, but he runs into the other guy who was still there. What a failure. Anyways, well, at least he killed 2. The third Fanatic just kind of swivels around in the back and does absolutely nothing. We're going to go into Magic Phase next. I got 8 power dice, and then I go ahead and I get 2 channels, which is really great. And I roll 6 dice onto the Foot of Gork, and he dispels it. And then I try to go ahead and do the Hand of Gork, and he dispels it. Ugh. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Doom Divers. There's that lady, right? You see her right in the middle? She's hiding in between all those knights there. That's the one that's dispelling everything. So I'm going to shoot my Doom Divers at him, and first one drifts off 6 inches, but comes back 5 and nails those knights again. Second one gets a direct hit, and let's clear off all those knights. I take out every single one of them except for the Lord and the BSB. Oh, man, that's beautiful. And I even moved the Mangler right up in front of his grill, so that puts a little bit more of a fear of God into his units. Over here, the Squigs go ahead and kill off one of the Pegasus Knights, and the Pegasus Knights go ahead and they kill off quite a few Squigs and Night Goblins, just alike. So, based on combat resolution, I actually lost the combat, and I take a leadership test for my Night Goblins, they pass, and I take a leadership test for my Squigs, and they do not pass, they blow up. So I gotta combat reform my Night Goblins to face the Pegasus Knights, and it's going to start off Bretonnian's turn 2. And not only does it start off their turn, but they're going to charge right into the side flank of the Goblins, which, that's not so good. And they get in. Over here, this unit, they actually had the Lord and the BSB who were standing alone in the middle go ahead into that bus over there and just kind of get more protection that way. The peasants are chasing my wolf boy, and my wolf boy just keeps on running closer and closer to that trebuchet. But and they're, you know what? Every time on the shooting phase, they're trying to shoot him too. I actually believe they might get one shot off on him in this turn. But magic phase, we're gonna get 4. He gets 4 power dice, and he does a thunderbolt right at my Mangler Squig, and it hits him. I wish it didn't, because that one would have just really hurt him if it got through. And then, like I said, they shot like 5 arrows right at this guy. He has the armor of destiny on. It's heavy armor, plus he's mounted, so he has a 4-up armor save, and he also has a 4-up ward save, and one shot luckily got through, which is BS. He's going to go ahead and try to use his trebuchet onto my Doom Diver, and it gets a direct hit, but it only did 1 wound. So my lucky Doom Divers are still staying lucky. Over here, his Pegasus Knights only kill off about 2 of my Night Goblins, and then his side charge took out a couple more, like 3 or 4 of them, and it's getting pretty ugly over here. They're going to go ahead and run down my Night Goblins, and the Pegasus Knights catch them and kill them off. So, Orcs and Goblins turn 3, and my Night Goblin Fanatic decided not to go for the trebuchet. He decided to jump off the edge of the cliff. The rest of my unit, they kind of shift over to kind of see that side flank coming in, and that way Gorbad's still running the middle. Got my 6 power dice, and I'm going to use all my dice on the Foot of Gork. Who wouldn't use all 6 power dice on the Foot of Gork? Try to get double 6s, but guess what? I got next best thing. I got 33. Come on. Nobody could beat a 33 except for these double 6s. You son of a bitch. Come on. He got double 6s. Irresistible Dispel. So, shooting phase, I'm going to use my Doom Divers more strategically this time and try to kill off these Pegasus Knights. I get hit him, and go ahead, and the second one gets misfire. So, the Pegasus Knights are staying alive, and there's nobody in close combat, nobody else to shoot at. And it's going to be his turn. I believe I only did maybe like a wound on one of those with that Doom Diver that did hit. The Peg Knights decide to charge into my Doom Diver finally, and they get in, unfortunately, so that's going to shut down my shooting a little bit. And then these Knights over here decide to actually back up a bit. They're afraid of my Black Orcs. So, over here, my Night Goblin Wolf Rider has actually kind of bobbed and weaved through, and they're all chasing him. They cannot get to him, so they're all looking at him. And then they roll for 9 power dice. On the 9 power dice, he decides to try to do some spells, and of course I block him. So he uses the Trebuchet next, and his Trebuchet got a misfire. He got a 3 on the chart, which is basically disabled for a turn. And then we're going to go to close combat. Close combat, his Pegasus Knights kill off the first Doom Diver. Why? And then they're going to get an overrun, but they miss by an inch, which is really good. And we're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. I'm going to go ahead and charge my Wolf Boy finally into that Trebuchet. Kick that thing's ass. I am so sick of it right now. And then I actually have Gorbad come out of the unit of Wolf Boys to just intimidate the hell out of those Pegasus Knights. I was hoping that if they stay there for a round, Gorbad will go in and kill them both off. I move him a little bit closer towards my group, though, so that way he's less of a target. For my magic phase, I finally get 6 dice onto the foot. The foot finally comes off, and I aim straight for those guys over there, get a direct hit, and I stomp on them, and it doesn't hurt any of them because he has ward saves. They prayed in the beginning of the game, and when they prayed, they got ward saves, and those ward saves actually saved their lives. What kind of... Their god is more powerful than the mighty Foot of Gork? What the hell? So not only that, I roll for the 4, 5, or 6 to go again, and I get a 1, which means the Foot of Gork goes on my guys, and he picks that unit of Goblin Wolf Riders, which Gorbad just left, and he gets a direct hit, and he kills them all. He kills 5, I'm sorry. He doesn't kill them all. He kills 5. I'm going to go ahead and do my miscast, and I got a 4, which is the Cascade. I do not get sucked into the Cascade, though. I don't get sucked into the Void, but I do get a large round template, and I kill off 4 of my Savage Orcs. And let's go into close combat. Close combat over here. we have the Wolf Boy. He kills off 2 out of the 4 guys that are standing there, and they try to kill him back, but they do absolutely nothing. I believe my shooting phase, nothing happened with the remaining Doom Diver. Probably just shot off into nowhere, 10 inches off nowhere. So we're going to go into Bretonnian's turn 4. So first thing he does is going to go ahead and charge into my Wolf Boy with his whole general unit, and then he goes ahead and charges with his Pegasus Knights into my Doom Diver. His magic phase, he gets 6 power dice, and he tries to do, I believe, the Comet again. Yeah, he tries to do the Comet right there in between my Wolf Boys and my Orc Shaman, and I dispel it before it happens. I didn't want any Comets going off. He goes ahead and throws his Lord at my Wolf Boy, which this is a huge mismatch already. You could kind of see that. The Wolf Boy's a hero, you know. He has a great weapon, which is pretty decent, you know. And of course he's dead. Over here, the Pegasus Knights, they not only destroy my Doom Diver, but they get an overrun, and that kind of it irritates me because now Gorbad's not facing them. I should have turned him a little bit more to charge into those Pegasus Knights and kill them. It is Orcs and Goblins, turn 5. And my Wolf Boys go ahead and they move up because they want to finish the job on the Trebuchet. I make sure that they got a good view so they don't get flanked or anything like that. Gorbad's chasing the back end of these birds, and nothing else happens. Magic phase turn. I get a 9 power dice. Again, I get double 6s on the foot. I roll for the foot. It drifts. I go ahead and I do 4, 5, or 6 to do it again. I get it again. I hit him. I believe I killed 2. And then it does it again, and I kill another 1, and then again I get a 1 again. Why do I keep getting 1s? I mean, is there God literally doing this to my dice? So he does the foot again onto my Wolf Boys, and he kills off 1, which that's pretty odd, but whatever. Over here, the Pegasus Knights flew behind Gorbad, which I almost felt like I should have just gave him a rear charge into Gorbad. Maybe bait him into that. But he moves all his guys over to hills, and during this time, it's getting close to the end of the game. I'm realizing that the reason why he held back that whole bus of knights is because he's trying to do whatever his objective was, and I was doing whatever my objective was. And so he gets his magic phase. He gets a whopping 12 dice, and he does, I don't know what this is, Thunderbolt onto the Wolf Riders, and he ends up killing off that whole unit of Wolf Riders. I don't know why I don't have pictures of this. I think it's because we're trying to hurry it up. There was less pictures taken. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. My Orc Shaman, which took a wound from one of those miscasts, he well, I'm just showing you actually. They're gonna sit right there. Gorbad's sitting there. Everybody's kind of just holding still. I get 8 power dice. Again, go for the foot, and I get 3 6s. Okay, I'll take it. Gonna go ahead and try to stomp on these peasant knights over here, and go ahead and I kill like 2 of them, I believe, or 3 of them. And then again, miscast kills 2 more, and I take another wound. Poor savages. Savages died mostly to my own shaman. Basically, like nobody else was touched during the making of this video, and that was basically it. That was the end of the game. So end of the game. We're gonna go ahead and tally up the points, and guess what? I killed off one of his units of knights, which is probably like 280 points or something like that. But he had his lords and his other 2 buses, even though they were heavily damaged. They were not dead. And his Pegasus Knights, even though they were heavily damaged, they were not dead. And his Trebuchet, even though it was heavily damaged, it wasn't dead. And even his Peasant Knights, they were damaged, but they were not dead. That was my downfall of this game, was I injured pretty much every one of his units pretty severely, but I didn't kill anybody off, except for the first unit. So basically, when you look at mine, he took out the Wolf Boys, he took out my Lone Wolf, and he took out my Tomb Doom Divers, and my Night Goblins, and my regular Squigs, and my Mangler, which means he had a lot more points than I did. Even though I had Gorbad still healthy, even though I had a unit of Black Orcs and Savage Orcs that probably could have finished off the job on everybody who's on the table, he won the game. This is very frustrating to me. So, the secret objectives, he needed to take as many terrain pieces more than me, and which he did, because that was not my objective. My objective was just to make sure I had enough points in my starting zone, which I got my objective. I got a couple points out of it. He got his, and that was basically it. That was the end of the game. He won, I lost, but I got a couple points, and we're going to go into turn 3, and I'm looking forward to it. My brother, he is 0-2 at this point right now, playing his Skaven, but he's having a blast. It was a really good games that he's had. And not only that, he's learning his army very well throughout these five games that are going on. So we'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Next video, I'm up against Chaos Nurgle, and it is a very beautiful army. You gotta see this thing. This is probably one of the craziest army conversions I've ever seen. So, see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.